Hello, and welcome to another update video about ADA. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this wider structure here that we have on the screen since the December low. Wanted to highlight to you that obviously at the moment, because we have only 3 waves to the upside, this downside pattern is still very much active. And it could lead to new lows. Okay, not necessarily down there to 5 cents. This is just sort of, I haven't really placed them where they will eventually go, because you can really only determine the prices of the waves and the targets based on the previous waves. So I can only really give you the target for the 5th wave here as soon as we have that 4th wave complete. But this is at the moment, as long as we only have 3 waves up, very much active, and the downside pressure is pretty much there. Okay. However, of course, we have a pretty much outsized wave 4 now. It's pretty large. It's getting pretty large. A lot of coins are doing that at the moment, but a lot of coins are only showing us 3 waves to the upside at the moment. So, of course, after a new bear market low, which ADA did, we need to see a first signal that things are turning around. And even though it's, of course, possible to go long here, and I said to you, if you want to do that, there's, of course, a pretty good reward to risk ratio here, but that's pretty straightforward and pretty obvious, with the stop loss obviously below the 10th of June low. Now we've obviously moved quite a bit, but that's, of course, one way of doing it, buying the red candles. It's just that from an analysis point of view, I cannot confirm to you that a low has been made here. It's, of course, possible. We need to recognize that, and I'm going to show you a wave count in which a low could already be in, and we are already on the next wave up. But I cannot give you a reliable setup or reliable structure without having a first decent sized 5-wave move to the upside that you can see here in yellow, and the first ABC pullback, which would happen afterwards, forming a higher low. So that's essentially still what we need to wait for. Those pretty large wave 4s, they happen quite a bit in crypto, but we're currently holding anyway the 50% retracement level. So at the moment, there's no reason to expect something different, but I wouldn't be surprised if it pushes above the 30.4 cent level. Now, if it does, it could still be the C wave here of wave 4. It could still be the C wave, and it's still a 3-wave move. Yeah? It is only if after that price forms a higher low in a wave 4 and a higher high in a wave 5 that I have a valid 5-wave move to the upside that I can use to measure support for a pullback, which should happen afterwards. Okay, so that is sort of the reversal pattern, what we want to see. Wave 1, wave 2 could be in, wave 3 is not in, then a wave 4 and a 5 all not in. Could lead to a leading diagonal, maybe even an impulse, but probably rather a diagonal pattern. That would be wave 1. Then we get a ABC structure to the downside, forming a higher low. I will be able to calculate bullish support for that as soon as we have the first waves complete, and then we can go higher in a 3rd wave. This would be the first reliable setup, really. A break above 30.4 cents would put more emphasis on it, but it would need to be a sustained break, and it is really, you can't really say still without having 5 waves. And more important would be even a break above the 38.5 cent level up here. I think we've got this wave 2 high, and a bit of support and resistance at that level. So, a low could be in if we count this as a completed ending diagonal, just with a very outside 5th wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, and long wave 5. There are different ways. I think we can even count this wave 4 as a triangle, and then it just came down in 5 waves from here. There's different ways of looking at this, but ultimately we need to wait for the first 5-wave move up. And that is the view. And looking at the very short term, even in the ABC pattern, price would still suggest to form another higher high in this C wave. So it can still push higher, because I've got an A wave, I've got a B wave, and the C wave, actually 1 wave is missing. But I did say that yesterday. Since then, price has basically held support and it's just moving sideways. So we could deal with maybe a tiny wave 4 triangle here, which could make another high. But yeah, no change basically since yesterday. Bit of a bull flag here, could still push higher. So primarily in the very, very short term, another high wouldn't surprise me. And just be aware if it forms a wave 3, yeah, that's okay. But we need the wave 4 and the wave 5 to have a first strong indication that a low may be in. Now, this is just waiting for confirmation. Obviously, it doesn't mean that you couldn't buy earlier, right? I mean, that's often something that's misunderstood. I'm not telling you here that we need to wait with making a trade until we have 5 waves up. But obviously in the analysis, we're looking for idealized structures and reliable structures. So to have the first reliable trend reversal signal and the first signal as per Elliott wave and the first reliable setup, it is that we need to see the 5 waves and then a 3-wave pullback, a so-called 1-2 setup. Okay, that's my update about ADA. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.